That's right, that's Kashtira and another Scareclaw deck running at home for the Mississippi Regional. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. I want to give a shout out to the Mississippi community for helping me put together this breakdown. You guys are fantastic. Alright, so from what I've managed to put together, there were 5 Ishizu tier elements in Top Cut. I know, you guys don't want to hear that. But what we're here to talk about is the flip side of the equation, which we had 1 Flaunderies in Top Cut, which, you know, coming out of all these YCSs, you've seen, you know, how this deck has become the alpha, you know, anti-meta deck. I mean, Pestbirds is just made differently, alright? Like, the deck plays ignorantly against pretty much the rest of the meta, which is kind of what you want to see. The different playstyle allows the deck to get in there and do some interesting things. Now, the things we care about here. We have, yes, that is Kashtira, or Shangri-La, actually performing out here and shocking even me. Like, I was shocked to see this. You know, this deck clawing up to a 2nd place finish in tier format. Like, what? That is so impressive to me that you are just seeing, you know, the power and differences within the scaling of the format here, and players are going to be like, whoa, like, actually, yes, it performed. And then we have our 2nd Scareclaw deck here. Now, Scareclaw, coming off of the Halifax Regional, we also saw Scareclaw perform over there. That is now 2 events right now that Scareclaw has actually done well. And I think that that's kind of interesting that Scareclaw has got this double, you know, big opening going on for it. And I think we'll continue to see some sort of Scareclaw presence for a while, because honestly, that deck is doing a lot more than I initially thought. So that's definitely quite interesting. Honestly, outside of that, I mean, 2 pretty big rogue hitters. We're going to pass on over for top deck list now. All right, the first list we're going to be looking at here is our Kashtira anti-meta goodness. And yes, we are packing in Yield Macrocosmo. We don't quite have the gas power for this deck to floor it to the metal for the much better cards just yet. So we're going to have to rely on things like Diabolsis the Mind Hacker to rip key extra deck cards, and then some little zone blanking from Shangri-La here, plus dimension shifters and so forth. Now, in this iteration of the deck, Psy Beast is going to be an absolute monster. Free deck thinning, free setup. That way you can set up Birth and go. And then you also have Sacred Sword of the 7 stars here, so that you can capitalize on, you know, your draw power as well. I mean, all of these are going to be level 7s. Get rid of them, draw some cards. We're also playing a mini spellbook package in here as well. I'm going to be honest with you, do not underestimate your spellbook power here, because the fact that Spellbook of Prophecy, of all things here, just free tutor draw power. I mean, it's a 6-card splash engine that thins the deck, which is fine. We're also playing Cosmic Cyclones. You got to offset the pressure that, you know, the Mystic Mine and things can give you, because your game plan is you have to be very strong and very anti-meta. And first of all, preparations here being a continuous is absurd. Alright, if your opponent activates a trap card and you control a Kashtira, and this card is already face up your spell and trap card zone, you can look at your opponent's hand and do banish 1 card from it face down, and then during either player's turn, you can special summon one of your Kashtira monsters that is banished or in your hand. Preparation is, at this stage, going to be one of the better option trees that you have going for. Obviously, that, and like I said, Birth are just going to be pressure points. Outside of that, you know, side deck's still going to be, or have to pressure the opponent. We're also playing Spellbound here, also to pressure the opponent a little bit. So, I mean, your option trees here for this, absolutely wonderful. But this deck, very, very awesome to see this getting 2nd place. Next up here was our Scareclaw deck. Now, this is much different than the version that we saw out of Halifax here, which you're still going to rely on, you know, obviously Tryhard. I mean, walking, talking floodgate that forces everything to defense mode. You basically, you know, start attacking and then doing what your deck does best, which is ha. And then for the defensive options here, I'm going to be honest with you, you are going to have to play that Bysteel package. In the current format right now, you need to have ways to control your opponent. Granted, Ishizu tier can just spin you out of control really quickly, but in the instances where there's a lower variance and something like that here, you will get the option to use these cards to capitalize and do so. If not, they're just going to be extra cards you can link someone with. I mean, that's your big main thing here. Plus this thing right here, absolutely amazing for spot removaling option trees. I also see that we are playing a Dogmatica package in here as well. Now, the big thing with your Dogmatica package here is Ecclesia and Floor are going to pressure the opponent. It's also going to act as a sub-negate for you as well. Don't underestimate this. I mean, yeah, you're going to get locked out of your extra deck, but like, hi, this lets you draw a card. Hi, this lets you pop something. If you're using this as like the end of your sub combo, say you go through like full Scareclaw combo, you know, you start setting up everything, and then you get to, you know, Ecclesia Floor here. Congratulations. You know, you now have Punishment for defense. You have Floor for defense. I mean, the package gives you what you need. So, also extending it 43 cards here. I also got to give a shout out here for Joseph. He wanted to shout out his girlfriend for this, and I figured we'd go ahead and make that possible here. That way, you know, he wanted an excuse for her to watch the video. Oops, shouldn't have said that. So that is our Scareclaw deck out of this event. Not too bad. Next up here is one of our Ishizu tier element decks. Now, I will say a lot of these Ishizu tier element decks are going to look the same. All right. A lot of the formula has been pretty much discovered here. A lot of players pretty much getting the ratios down. We are playing the one Agito, and then we're focusing on triple Jerusalem here with one Magnanut and one Saronir. Jerusalem's value in this format has only been rising right now because you need the ability to control the opponent, all right? This gives you the ability to get that spot removal option that you really need, all right? Don't underestimate Saronir or Jerusalem as a card, all right? I mean, yeah, the searching is good. The dumping, I mean, is okay for this, but honestly, you really do care about this card more so than the rest of what's going on with this deck. So, pretty standard outside of that. I mean, you can only do so much with this deck. Next up, you saw like a very small change there between jumping list here. Now, once again, this build is focusing on the true Jerusalem versus the 3 Magnamut, which is fine. I mean, you go ahead and you pick your variations. Now, one thing here that's kind of interesting is we are focusing on 2 Scream. Scream, for the most part of this format, has been reduced down to a 1 of. Players aren't really caring too much about the little innovations and things, I guess, with Scream, but I think that's definitely something that you care about. And then we're extending our Bysteel package with another Jerusalem and another Saronir, so you'll be able to sight into 9 of those things in terms of your interruptions, which I think should be enough. And then, of course, we have Herald of Orange Light to blast the opponent out of the water. You don't have the Agito for the discard, but I mean, you care most sort of about getting one of these down. That way you can shuffle back your opponent's fusion targets in the mirror. Like, once again, don't underestimate these 2 cards. All right, there's a reason why they're busted. Next up, this is my favorite version of tier. This is the one where we make the Dark Law and we laugh at our opponent because they can't actually do anything. Don't underestimate this card. Cody Angelov was one of the first people I saw that was playing this out of, was it 2 YCSs ago? And I think that this was hilarious. And Spellbound's been gaining a lot more love as well. I think there was, 2 people out of this regional that we saw that were actually playing Spellbound. I know a lot more people that just play Dimensional Barrier. I mean, I do suppose so, but this also stops the link summon aspect of things as well. And, you know, Dark being able to be a card to take things from your opponent is definitely something that you need to be, you know, a little bit wary of. So, honestly, I mean, another tier list that's going to look pretty much the basic same here. Now, final thoughts out of this regional here. It's good that Rogue is creeping through those cracks, all right? On the top end of the format, this format is awful. I've said that countless times already, but the thing that makes me intrigued with this format is the rogue status of things. You know, how players are creaking through here, taking a look at these different trees and, you know, how they're trying to beat, you know, the big baddie in the room. And this is where Rogue gets the chance to shine. It's been a long time since we've had a format this desolate, but I will say that, you know, if you are a player and you can crack the format right now, you will you will be very happy with the results, I think, at the end of the day. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.